Okay, hopefully the audio works. That's awkward. I think I will put you guys here, out of the way. Alright, I better check to see if anybody can hear me if I move away from the camera. Alright, testing audio right now. Nope, looks like it's working. Fantastic. Okay, I got my two boys in here. And you guys can't see them because they're in the corner waiting for me. Why? Because we're trimming them today a little bit. There they are. They know what's going on around this joint. Now I'm not going to be able to see questions in real time while trimming, but I will try to check in when I can. We're starting with these two. I'm going to quickly work through them till I'm done. I've got a few horses to do, so let's get to it. This fine day. A little chilly, but warm in the sun. And trimming is trimming is hard work. So, hey man, you look like you're in the lineup for some trimmings. See the tools out. He's giving them a sniff. He's like, "Oh, it's trimming day, is it?" Yeah, it is. Now I've only altered them because I don't want to go wandering around all over the place. Where was I? Okay, that's what I was going to do. Just gonna check on you guys, make sure that we're good. Something like that. And hopefully all goes well. Trimming. Let's talk about trimming a little bit. Because we might as well while we're doing it. Now, I try not to really halter them, but I sort of need to frame up the shot for the stream. So the rope just sits up here. It's not tied or nothing. I'm going to get Luke to step up onto my little rubber mat. Helps keep his feet a little less sandy. I know, you're just going to miss the toolbox, aren't you? We'll give him a good cleanings and trim him up. Luke's probably about a week overdue because, like everything else, my horses usually come after everybody else's horses. I'm like, wow, I better get to my horses. But they're pretty well maintained. Super noisy airplane. And I try not to tie them up of any sorts. I try to let them, you know, I mean, he's probably thinks in a way that he's kind of tied, but being sort of connected to the fence, which is a bit of a cop-out, it's a bit of a cheat. But like I said, I really want to get them in frame so you guys can see what on earth my horses can look like just being trimmed. And if you're wondering about the trimming process, I've covered it a lot in all kinds of live streams in the past, so it's not any different. I'm not doing anything special in that regard. Check the bars and check the frog and sort out all the old stuff to let the new stuff grow in. That's the goal. See, Ronnie's waiting in turn quite nicely. He is next, and then we'll start bringing in some girls probably. The thing about hoof trimming is the more often you do it, the easier it is. Not just for practice, but for purposes of trimming their feet. You don't have to do as much. So I'm actually doing more than I usually would do for a solid maintenance trim. Spending longer on it. I know, there you go. Okay, that's 1 foot done. What a good boy, right? Okay, I'm gonna need you off the fence a little bit, so if you could move your bum over, hold your head here, and move your bum. Good boy. And a little forward. Perfect. Couldn't have put you in a better spot if you'd done it on your own. Okay, let's... Luca's running around. Don't know why. Okay, let's do another foot. Ooh, boy. So yeah, I mean, maintenance trims are far easier to do than what I sort of call rehab trims, where you have to trim to fix rather than just maintain. So I think any trim that isn't for maintenance is pretty much a rehab trim. Luke, can you put your foot down just straight, please? Not there. Not there. That's good. No. Oh, you're such a bad horse. What am I going to do with you? You and all your burgundiness. Come forward, please. And one more foot. Otherwise, you'll be uncomfortable. Thanks, man. I know. I'll do your back feet in a minute, okay? And as such, you know, you do it often. It's nothing. Well, relatively nothing. I mean, it does take some effort, obviously. You have to pick feet up and work a tool, all that business. But I think anybody can do this. Learn it. Just slowly go about it, and then do bits and pieces as you go. Don't bite off more than you can chew. All that. But yeah, I think anybody could get the hang of doing maintenance trims. Hang on, Luke, just a second. Just a second, buddy. Let me just trim off one little bit here, and I'll give you your foot back. There you go. Frogs and bars are done. Yeah, and now for the walls. And then I'll do your back feet, because he's kind of asking for them. I don't know if you guys can sort of tell. Horses will ask for a particular foot sometimes. No. Please stop going backwards. That's fine. Stay there. Oh, you terrible horse. Come here. What am I going to do with you? Come on. God, one more step. Good. That's fine. No. Just stay there. Come on, you big monkey. Let's go. All right. So, sometimes I honor their requests. They're like, hey, can you really do blah, blah, blah foot? I'm like, all right, fine. But overall, I sort of go about the order that you're watching. Front feet first, back feet next. But sometimes I switch that up. So if anybody's wondering, like, is there an order you have to do? No, not really. Not really. Whatever suits your fancy. You can do diagonals, you can do front, left, back, right. Whatever. But when they're asking, it is kind of nice to help them out. And just say, yeah, no problem, I'll deal with that today or immediately. You know what, friend? Let's bring this forward for a second. I feel like I could just get this a smidge better from here. And I don't recommend trimming from the top. But when you get kind of good at it, you can break that rule a little bit. And the reason is you can't, it's impossible to tell where to trim looking at the top of a hoof. You gotta look at the bottom. Hi Ronnie, what's up man? Are you next? Coming through, buddy. If you ever have horses that are a little difficult to trim, it's actually fantastic to have them hang around while a marginally good horse gets trimmed. Now I don't have a mat for the back, so we're just gonna have to settle for having a bunch of sand all over the place. Hello, Ronnie. Can I trim his back feet with you here, do you think? So yeah, if you've got a horse that's not that good at being trimmed, they can watch another horse be trimmed, and you know, it'll probably be good for them. Goodness, Luke, you've got so much junk in here. How did you get your feet so dirty? When I'm finished, Luke, I'll come answer some questions if anybody's got any. If you don't, then I shall not. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, let's start with the walls this time. Just for the heck of it. There's not much to do, that's why I'm just going to give them a good roundings. Just something that makes sense. Despite being a week or so over, it's doing quite well. When I say a week or so over, I try not to let my horses go beyond 3 weeks. I had somebody contact me recently and they said that their horses go 8 to 10 weeks, which is, it's insane. It's pure insanity. But somebody taught that person that that's a great idea. It's not good. 8 to 10 weeks you'll be doing rehab trims. Every trim. Guaranteed. You won't be doing maintenance trims. There'll be massive trims. And I call those rehab trims. And that's not good. I don't want that. Alright, look, you got a little bit of a weird bar there. Sort it out now. But each trim shouldn't be taking off too much. It should be pretty minimal amount of height or flare, that kind of thing. And if not, you gotta start questioning how often you're doing trims. Oh, what a mess. Here, we'll just take that off. Okay. Ronnie's still here. Says, I like the company. Yeah, me too. There we go. That's pretty good. Just a little slice there. Good enough. There you go, buddy. He says, ticks. One more hoof to do, and he's already resting it. Look what you do to your back leg here, buddy. Looks like you've got a little nibble on here or something. It doesn't look good. Maybe we'll clean that later. All right. Probably got kicked or nibbled on. I guess people kick you more than nibble you, don't they? All right. All right. Okay, let's get this foot going. Thanks, pal. Back feet, back legs. Horses either will keep them low or they'll bring them up and they'll have to, I don't know exactly what happens, but I was sort of taught a long time ago that they have to sort of bring them up to a level and then they sort of unhook a bone or something. I don't know exactly how it goes. And then they'll bring them back down. And then they'll just rest them. And I never looked into exactly why that happens or why they do that. I probably should do that. So I don't sound like an idiot trying to teach it. Okay. Put a bit of bar. This is Luke's last foot. He's almost done. I know in some countries it's, at least maybe just in the UK, that it's frowned upon to trim your own horses. I can understand that a little bit, because I mean, honestly, some people who have a license to do it shouldn't be doing it, let alone people that haven't bothered to get an education. But sometimes the education is not so good. Here in BC, we have like one school, well, one farrier school, I guess, that is in a college. It's a real thing, and pay big money for it. But a lot of it is just blacksmithing, and yeah, you see some people come out of there and you just can't wait to chuck a shoe on a horse rather than think about the biology of the animal's body. Oops, sorry, buddy. Yes, Ronnie, I am almost done. Funny you should ask. Just a second. I know I can feel Luke wanting his leg back shortly here, but I just want to finish up the bottom. And this is kind of what I mean by, like, if you leave them a little bit, Ronnie, stop it, longer, they'll require this much work. It's a lot. A little tiring. But Luke's pretty light in my hand. He doesn't lean on me too much. Okay, that's the bottom done. Why, Ronnie? Why you gotta bug me while I'm trimming? Are you rushing me along or something? What's the deal here? Horses, eh? I'll check for questions soon. Ronnie, if you could read English, buddy, you would serve a purpose immediately. I'm not sure how he turned the phone on without his opposable thumb, but I can get something figured out. Come on, big guy. Thank you. Alright, let's brush off the minimal amount of sand that's on there. Sand and gravel, dull your tools pretty quick. Ronnie, honestly, man, sometimes tickles, you have to stop. Stop it. Why is Ronnie doing that? What's going through his mind? He's thinking, well, he looks pretty busy. I guess I'll sniff his hat. Smells kind of interesting. Weird, eh? I can't even imagine. I just make stuff up as I go. Luke is done. I didn't even need to halter him. Could have just not halted him. Coming through. Okay, short break. Answer questions if there are any. You know, I'm gonna leave Luke like that so Ronnie they don't run off and go play and do goofy things together. And we'll check some questions, if there are any. Well, there's a few people here. Let's see. All right, Martine is here, and Tanya and Elvis. Hello. Hello, Cindy. And Kathy. Hello, Kathy. Cindy asks the question, do certain horses need trimming more than others? Yes. Some horses need it weekly. Maximum 3 weeks if you can. Chris S. is here. Hello, Chris S. Hello, Jen Grant. She said yes. Whose horse breed is this? What do you mean? Which horse breed? I don't know. Oh, you wrote which horse, not whose. Which horse breed? Luke is an appendix. A cross between a quarter horse and a what's it called? Thoroughbred. Carla's here. Hello, Carla. Carlos says, I have a question. Great job putting stars. That really helps me a lot. For anybody who wants to ask a question, putting stars is fantastic. I have a question. In your previous experiences in comparing hooves of the Wildies and Mustangs and domestic horses in general, which has better hooves? Wildies by far. He's pretty cute, isn't he? Yeah, this is Luke. This cracker's next. Hey, man. Carl's here. Hello. Oh, let's see. Carlos says he practically stands on his head instead of lifting the horse's legs. LOL. Well, Carla, I can tell you straight out, horses way prefer it. I've seen some farriers lift horses' legs, and you're practically, I mean, it'd be the equivalent of an arm bar on a human. It looks so painful. They put their leg down, and you know, it's awful. If you can accommodate the horse more, they will stand just like this and wait in a lineup just like this. Everybody like the poem? That's cool. I wish I wrote it. Maybe I'll write a poem one day. Veda's here saying the horses are pretty. Thanks. Kirsty's here. Stunning day over there. Yes, it is an absolutely beautiful day. All right, Ronnie, you're next, buddy. Okay, that's it for questions and stuff. Thanks, everybody. I shall continue on with my ever so difficult work of maintaining horse hooves. Hey, man. What do you want? Okay, we'll capture Ronnie now. Kick Luke out of pole position here. Watch out, pal. Coming through. Now, I don't even know if I need to catch him, honestly. If I didn't have to keep you guys, if I didn't have to keep them in frame for you guys. Okay, move it or lose it, pal. Thanks. I wouldn't bother. Right on the mat. Couldn't ask for anything better. I'm a little thirsty. Just a moment. I even brought a granola bar because trimming's hard work when you're doing a bunch. How long did that take me? How long into the stream are we? I forget. Somebody just note the time down if you could. Like, out of curiosity. Okay, you ready, man? Let's, I got all my tools coming through. Do you have a preference for a foot, my friend? Back left? I can do that. Let's see. Good boy. Seems to be the issue. Yes, so Carla says you're practically bending all the way over. I can't stress enough how important it is. I mean, sometimes I've trimmed some horses, their foot's on the ground. Man, horses really pay attention to what you pay attention to. And they really care. They care if you care. Ronnie looks pretty good. He's got just a little bit of an overgrown bar. I know, buddy, I know. Hang on. Hates it when I'm brushing and I brush it up onto his pastern. Seems to drive him nuts. It's just uncomfortable. All right, let's sort out this bar problem. Middle. Hang on, pal, hang on. If you just give me a second, I can finish it. Thanks. Just a second. Just a second more. Well, maybe a couple seconds. I mean, it's not like horses can tell time, right? So. All right. It's a little better. Clean that out a bit. He says, how about the other back foot? Yeah, no, I'm gonna finish this one. He says, no, I insist. Can everybody see how he's lifting up his back? God, I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't barely see the screen. It's so bright here. There. So you can see how he's lifting up his back right leg. So I shall oblige this time. He says, I insist. And I say, okay, let's see. What do you got? And Ronnie gets kind of, he's an asker. Like he's one of those horses that says, look man, I have a preference. Unlike that other brown horse over there, he doesn't care about nothing. Ronnie's more vocal, body-wise, obviously. Right, what have you got, Ronnie? Doesn't look like too much going on. Maybe just a lateral bar. Needs a bit of a switch. Nope, and a bit of frog that can come off. Let's get rid of that. That's good. It's just kind of looking like it's hanging there. So we'll get that off. Help them out a little bit. Back to that question about some horses need trimming more often than others. Yep, 100%. Older horses should be maintained a little more often. Horses that have sort of imbalances throughout their body, those are horses we should help out a little bit more. Ronnie, I'm not really done yet. He might ask to switch, so I'm going to ask for this leg again. If he gives it to me, which I've just put a finger on, so he knows. He's like, that's cool. Yeah, you can continue. So I will. And so yeah, some horses really, especially if they are in a rehab mode, yeah, and you've got to bring back the shape of the capsule so much tighter, then 100% you should be trimming them. You should be maintenance trimming them every week if you can, compared to weeks and weeks going by and all those imbalances maintaining for so long. It's unhealthy for them. It hurts. I mean, just imagine they've got a pair of shoes on they can't take off. In a way, hooves are very hard, so they don't change shape too easy. Okay, Ronnie, how's that feel, buddy? All cleaned up. Gonna continue on the other one again. And so, let's see if he'll let me. He says, all right. Bit of resistance there. Oops, where did I put my... Oh, hang on, buddy. I was dumb enough to throw my tool on the ground. My hoof pick. Once in a while I do that. Once in a while I lose them. Dude, come on. I don't want to do that one already. There. Plus you were going to let me. And you know, like I said, once you kind of get into a good rhythm with them, and get sort of on a good schedule, something that really helps them out, then you can relax back again. Try not to lose track of it, of the progress that you've made. Somebody needs to sharpen their knife. Hello, Luke. It's wandered off a little. I think he's gonna go have a lie down, to be honest. Okay, let's get some... I put my tool on the ground again, like an idiot. All right, that's the way. Let's get some walls sorted out here. Mainly just giving him a bevel. He actually has pretty good walls. Just bevel this sucker up a bit and balance it out a little. Other than that, he's fine. Um, I don't know if anybody remembers Skip when he was here, but he had some really bad feet, rotten in their walls, and I trimmed him every week for sure. And trying to get the cracks out, trying to get the rod out. His back feet really came together in a matter of a couple months. But it's something you really have to stay on top of until you don't. And that's sort of the key. So, rule of thumb, every few weeks. If not, you're going to be playing catch up. And horses' feet grow like crazy. There's statements out there of, my horse wears their feet down and needs shoes. If your horse is wearing their feet down, they're flat. They're not wearing them down, they're wearing them out. As in outwards, they're flaring. It's an unusual thing. I mean, once in a while, maybe there's a case due to conformation or way too much work where they might wear their feet down and they need protection of some sorts. Maybe not shoes. There. That's done. But it's rare. Some horses that have ligament problems can wear their heels out as well. That's another thought. Okay, Ronnie, you ready for your fronts? How about this one? Oh, come on, buddy. There you go. Oh, full of stuff. I know. Hang on. So a lot of times I will just wait, Ron. Hang on. I'll clean out both front feet because he might have something stuck in his other foot where he says, "Give me back this foot." And I'll say, "Yeah, no problem. Let's check out the other one." And I'll make sure they're both clean before I go on with a long trim. Long trim meaning like 5 minutes or something. It's marginally satisfying cleaning feet, I admit. I give them a good solid cleaning up and they're like, hey, all clean. Okay, how do you feel, pal? Can I come back to the other one? Yep. No problem. Luke's flying down, having a bit of a roll and stuff. Yeah, Ronnie. Let me just clean this out a little bit more. Ronnie's always had these little baby frogs. They're crazy small for a quarter horse. I know, man, I know. Can I just take your bar down? I swear this is gonna make you feel better. Okay, that took too much effort, so I'm actually gonna sharpen my knife. While we're here, if I can find my sharpener, which had better be in here. Don't see it. Oh, I see. No. There it is. Whew. Okay. Just a chainsaw blade sharpener. Okay. Back off. No. I man, what? Which is actually a funny thing, I guess I could say, about this process is I've yet to see a horse not interested in sharpening. I hope this is not an irritating sound for everybody. But they've always been interested. They always kind of come up and like, what are you doing? Making that weird noise. Okay, step up, please. Thanks. Let's sort this out. Oh little bit better. I put it on the ground again. Pick that up. Such a bad habit. Oh, that's better. Goodness, Ronnie, you got bars for days, buddy. Bars for days. Yeah, well, hang on. I'm almost done. Just a second. Very cautious with hoof knives. I hear about a lot of accidents out there. People cutting their arms and stuff. Be careful. There you go. Okay, let me sort out the other one, because that one was a lot, and then we'll come back to... As you can tell, Ronnie's a little behind on his trim as well. My fault. Always my fault. I'll come back to questions in a second. I think we'll nip these ones. Let's get enough here. The other thing about bars, you know, if they're kind of growing bars like crazy, it's kind of healthy, you know. Strong growing feet or fast growing feet are healthy feet. But back to the idea that horses wear their own feet off. God, I wish my horses would wear their own feet down. Constantly trimming, trying to keep up with the growth that they have. Yep, sorry buddy, hang on. 2 seconds. Use my newly sharpened knife to sort out your frog, and then we'll be done. Just a little bit. I know, man, I know. Just a second. One more slice. Or two. Okay, buddy. Now we just got to do your walls, and then you're done. I don't know what you want right now. I don't have any snacks or nothing. Just a snack for me. Okay, up onto the mat, please. Thanks. All right. This won't take long. A lot of times I'll start my trim at the heel and work my way forward, but once in a while I'll actually start at the toe, work my way back. That comes from experience, sort of knowing what to look for. It's hard to give an exact understanding of why, but majority of the time it's starting at the heel to set the height, and then work my way around and match that. That's pretty good. Clean off the edge. And that's done. Next hoof, buddy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Did you step on the sand with this hoof? Let's see. You did. All right. Clean. Make sure to get that sand and gravel off for longer tools, longer lasting tools. Hang on, Rose. The position I'm in might be interesting to some, but a lot of times I'll sort of have them rest their knee against my leg a little. And then they won't think of pushing it forward because my leg's in the way. Alright, almost done. Almost done. Can you just give me a second? There we go. Hang on, buddy. Hang on. Hang on. Just a little bit of these pillars. The pillars are the part that is on either side of the toe. Sort of like the 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock position of the foot. You know, Ronnie, I'm going to do the same thing I did with Luke and just sort this a tiny bit from the front. Yeah. Attaboy. Oh, it tickles. Tickles are crazy. There you go. Beautiful. You're a free man. You're a free man, man. Oops. Oh. Okay, later, big guy, if you want to leave. Or you can stay. Totally up to you. Gloves. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions. You guys can just stare at the horses a little if you'd like. What's he even thinking? He says, "Are you sure you're done?" Okay, let's look at any questions that may be here. Started Ronnie at the 23 mark. All right. Let's see. The poem. Martine says the horses are cooperative. Gma is here. Hello, Gma. Carla says, can you specify what you see better in the health and shape of wildies compared to domestics? I can. Get him, Ronnie. Fight him. I can specify. For sure. You can watch the boys while I sit on the fence. Oh, it's so bright. Can't barely see the screen. So, what I've noticed in the wild, look at how happy they are. Oh, our feet are all trimmed up. It's lovely. Happy horses, man. Happy horses. What I've noticed in the wildies, you guys aren't going to be able to see them. They're going to be like little specks on the screen in a minute. Somebody pooped over there. What I've noticed in the wildies is a much stronger hoof wall. That I feel like that might be breed more than environment, but I couldn't say. I don't have enough data. The shape, like the bars and let's zoom in on these boys just a little bit. The bars and all that are really they're fantastic. I mean, the work that I have to do on them, obviously there's some corrections here and there. Sorry, but the inner shape is really solid compared to plenty of, so the domesticated ones, obviously, as I talked about, having trims way too far apart, not moving around nearly as much, not nearly as healthy. And there's some great studies done out there on mostly from what's his name, Robert something. I don't know if anybody can pull it up. I failed to remember his name. damn it. But he did a pile of studies on the strength of the inner hoof, meaning like the cartilage in the back of the hoof, the frog, the whole back area really, and how strong it is in horses that move around more compared to the ones that just stand around in stalls for minimum 12 hours a day. They just stand there. Which reminds me of an email I got where somebody had wished that I was taking better care of my horses by having a whole pile of money to build a barn to chuck them into. And I was like, that's not better. And there's lots of reasons why. So I'm not going to preach about that, but the point is, the wildies do seem better for probably for the effect of that they can move around a lot. They can, they're constantly exercising and getting those feet strong. Where, their feet might not be perfect, but once they go into captivity, then they fall apart a little bit unless maintained, which is a common argument now, not argument, but like a discussion or point of discussion nowadays in the more evolved hoof world of like, how do we simulate all that wear time? How do we simulate all the wear that they have when they're walking around out in the wild? It doesn't mean they're always wearing their feet down, but all the wear in the bottom of the foot and the muscles and everything. Not that there's any muscle in the foot, like the cartilage, the tendons, the ligaments, all that stuff to strengthen them up. So, yeah. Piper is here. Hello. Sue says I started Ronnie at the 23-minute mark. Cool. So Luke was about, I guess, 20 minutes or so. Right? That's not bad. It's a good time. Good time for a maintenance trim. A wildie would naturally wear the hoof more than a domestic. Yeah, they would. It doesn't mean they're going to be always wearing it really healthily, but they could wear an imbalance for a long time. Here they come. Here they come. Okay. Harl says, is Zeus waiting around the corner? No, he doesn't come down to the arena much anymore. So, these guys. Piper says he's so well behaved because he's not tied up. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I just have no need to tie them up. Like I said, to tie them up for you guys. Or not tie them up, I halter them up for you guys. And just let them stand there and get trimmed. It's like that's their job. It's a grooming. I'm grooming them. So if I'm grooming them, then they stand there and be groomed. That's it. Kathy says, I'm confused about whether or not a BC Wildie in Canada or a Mustang in the US are distinct breeds and what made them that way. Centuries of inbreeding. Well, I don't know. Somebody figure it out, let us know. The ground makes a good table. Is that Lena in the background? Yes, she's next actually. I'm about to go get her. As soon as I work through all these questions, if there are any. Kathy says, it's interesting that the horses are being respectful of your space as you're working on another one. Well, that comes from building the relationship. And it always will. It'll always be like, I'm working here. Don't. So whether you're feeding carrots or grooming horses by brushing, hoof trimming is grooming. So, Piper's in England. Chris is from North Alabama. Hello, Chris. Marilyn says, I had the impression that the frog was tender to the horse. No. Frogs, if they're tender, that means they're very unhealthy. If you can push or squeeze on a frog or something like that and your horse freaks out, gets worried, or wants their foot back immediately, then there's a massive problem. Frogs should never be tender. I mean, cut too short, unhealthy, full of thrush, whatever. All right, Maryland's in Newfoundland. Newfoundland, sorry. Newfoundland. Who says Newfoundland? It's like Maryland. Okay, Piper likes Lena. Cool. I finished Ronnie at the 41 mark. Thanks, Sue. So 20 minutes apiece, including knife sharp. 17 minutes. Oh, thank you. You guys are the best. All right. All right. Okay, that's all the questions. Cool. I'm going to get Lena. Next horse. It is 1 o'clock. Goodness, time goes by fast. How are all the horses doing? They're doing great. Thanks for asking. Okay, I shall return with another horse. We shall get Lena. She's next on the list. And then who's after that? I might get Yoga after that. So I'm going to leave my microphone here in case this crazy thing cuts out on us again. That was a disappointment. I did find, for everybody who's here now that was here at the other live stream, I did find the audio. I'm going to have a granola bar while I walk over to Lena so you guys don't have to hear me chew. But I did find the audio, so I'll be putting up the... No, it's not for you, you crackers. Put the plastic away. So I'll put that together. I'll put back the beginning because that's when I did all the groundwork. Okay, I'm out of here. Lena, next. Don't play with my tools. Okay, we're gonna see if Lena wants a roll. What is it, Luke? What do you want? Grab my microphone again. Sorry for the noise. This clips onto my head. Little wireless thing. Don't play. Check for questions. Now I'm letting Lena have a little quick walk around. What is it, Luke? I don't have anything for you. Carla had to go. Bye, Carla. I'm the best. Thanks. Just gotta go work. Okay, let's work on the next horse. Luke, honestly, man, why do you gotta come up and bug me? Don't you have anything better to do? Anything. Or hassle another horse. Some other horse around here. Oh, not buddy. Okay, let's go get Lena. I feel like he's slobbering on me. Okay, Lena, come here. She's walking off on me. She's gonna be in big trouble. Uh-oh. No, don't go down the arena. The boys are watching. Okay, I just want to trim your feet, you know. I don't want to take you back out. Come here. I'm lazy. I just catch her by the neck. Too lazy. Sign of a good horseman. Somebody who admits they're lazy. Right? Okay, Lena's feet are crazy. I always regret trimming her late. Okay, come here. Come on. Thank you. Ugh, I don't need a halter on you. Just to catch you, I suppose. Lena's feet. She is a draft anybody who's new here, she is an Oldenburg, which is a German horse. Something like that. Keep you guys sort of in frame. She is a Oldenburg draft, warm blood draft horse. Oldenburgs themselves are pretty big, chunky horses from what I remember. Can you not go backwards, please? You know I want to work with you. Come here. Come on. Thanks. One more step, please. You look like you're about to go backwards. Okay, I think I'm going to do her back feet first as well. I always regret doing her feet late because they are like 3 inches thick. It's insane. These feet are so strong. So the question Carla had about breed makes me wonder how much sort of draft mix is in the Wildies, because their feet are pretty solid as well, which is really nice to see, to be honest. You know, in turn, they're stronger. I believe they're stronger. Okay, yeah. All clean on that one. Let's clean the other one. If she wants. Do you want? Can I have this leg? Bring it back, please. Come on, I don't want to be grabby pants. A little more. Okay. Picking up horses' feet. It's pretty common. I think it's a pretty common video out there on, you know, how do you pick up a horse's feet? Well, quietly. When I said to her there I didn't want to be a grabby pants, I really don't want to have to demand her foot to me. I don't want to have to grab it and yank it and pull it, hold it, fight with her, because honestly it could be really tiring, and when you're fighting with them it can be dangerous. Hang on, Lena, one little bit more. What a mess. To clean the arena. So, you know, if I go and grab her feet, she knows what I want. But it just wouldn't be kind. Like, we want to... Trimming is... I mean, you're already in a compromised position. So you want to do it in a way that feels safe for everybody. Not just yourself, for the horse too. So, patience. Lena grows feet like just absolute. If every horse grew feet like Lena, I don't believe there'd be anybody complaining about horse feet ever on the planet. Big, huge, massive frogs. You cut right proper down when they need to be cut down, and there's no problems there. There's inches of frog. Speaking of frog, actually, that question come in, that whether or not they're sensitive. There is, you know, it's good to know the biology of these things so that you know what you're looking at, why you're looking at it, and what kind of shape you're sort of hoping to make of it when trimming. That's for sure. It's not a willy-nilly thing. Okay. Yeah. Everybody's a week late. We're now our front feet are feeling over. The other foot? All right. Lena will talk as well. How about this one then? Bring it over. Let's sort it out. Oof. Just massive feet. But not what they call a salad plate, or like one of those hooves that are all splayed. Her walls are really well connected, but they're just big. Which is good. It's a big girl. So actually, just to get into that, I mean, you can look back on, there's a pile of videos. I'm just sort of monologuing as I go, but there's a lot of videos on this channel that are totally free. You can look back on some of the ones that I've done, and it will mirror what I'm doing now, in case anybody's like, well, what are you doing? It's hard to mess around with the camera, so I'm just not. And then, of course, there's a full course available as well, but there's lots of free stuff. And when I think about the shape of the frog, what I'm trying to trim to, I'm really thinking about what it looks like on the inside of the hoof. And I'm just going to give it a slight sharpening again. I think I've come up against a bit of sand. Dull knives don't cut so well, so you have to put more effort into using them, and you'll cut yourself. You'll make a mistake, or you'll cut the animal. A sharp knife is a much safer knife. And while I'm at it, I'm going to sharpen the other one. But I'm just using a chainsaw blade file, and just take off that edge and make them a little sharper for a little bit. Do a proper sharpening another time. Okay, Lena, which foot are we doing? Can I do this one? Yes, I can. Thanks. Okay, so her frogs and bars are done. I'm going to just give the walls a good solid rasping. That might be a question that comes in. How come you don't use nippers? Well, a couple of reasons, if anybody's wanting to know. I find them more accurate. I find a rasp far more accurate for what I'm doing. I guess maybe because I'm not very good at using nippers, that I'll probably just stick with what I do best. But there's the other argument of, well, that's why when you go, if you go to get your nails done, they don't use clippers on your nails. They file them and file them and file them until they're the length they want them to be, because it strengthens the nail compared to clipping them. And that's just science. Okay, Lena. That's one completely done. Next. Please. Thank you. Oh, such a big effort, isn't it? Lift this big heavy leg. No. Just clean it off. Give it back. Oh, I haven't even done your bars yet. All right, hang on. So I just rasp and rasp and rasp, and I find I can get really accurate, which is what I want. Inaccuracies lead to imbalances. Makes everybody unhappy. Mostly the horse. My boys are super quiet, just hanging out doing nothing. Ronnie's on the other side of the camera, just standing there. Luke's on this side. It's kind of adorable. They could be anywhere. They're up here with us. All right, Lena. Just a little bit more, and then we'll finish your fronts and you're done. Practically asleep. Okay. Let's see, please. Thank you. And it sure is nice when they're well behaved. I remember this one horse that I started a trim for this lady who was a self-proclaimed horse communicator, she said. But I hadn't really experienced such poor behavior out of a horse in a very long time. And I told her, I said, you know, you need to get your horse to where it'll be okay standing there getting a trim and not have a big worry, because it's dangerous. She told me she didn't have any time for that. I said, well, then you'll have to find somebody else, because I'm going home in the same truck I came in. Right now your horse doesn't feel like I will. So it's really important to me that horses are calm and quiet and that they listen to me, so I listen to them. Well done, Lena. Thank you. Let's take a short break. Lena's legs or feet are heavy, and as such, it's kind of hard because I help her out quite a bit. I'll hold her leg a little. And I know a lot of people do that. And the horse should hold their leg up or something. But, like I said, makes them a little happier. Maybe a drink of water. But I actually don't see my water bottle anywhere. Oh, there it is. Maybe one of the horses stole it. Okay, actually, maybe I'll just quickly, if I take a short break, I can check comments, see if there's any questions. Up there. Let's see. It's not showing up. Hang on a second. Live chat. All right. Yeah, Sue, I'm not done quite yet. Let's see, going back to Dan had a got modified or moderated. Okay, DD David's here. Good day. This is multitasking at its best. Alton says, I've never seen nippers used on the bars. Yeah, I've got these little nippers that are actually bonsai nippers. Fantastic. Yes, I finished it off with a knife. So I'll just trim off the outer edge. Hi, Lena. Clara's here. Hello, Clara. Sue says you started Lena at 56 minutes. All right. Ronnie's rule is here. How many hands high is Lena? I don't remember, but I did do a video where I measured all of my horses. I can't remember what it's called. Alton says, so horses cooped up on deep litter straw without exercise could soften damage to the foot. 100%. Yep. Horses need hard ground to strengthen their feet. Soft ground, it's actually a really big deal in the horse baby community, where some people are arguing of like, stop putting baby horses in, 6 inches of soft sawdust. Get them out onto the hard dirt and the rocks and get them working their feet. Otherwise they grow up into these weak footed horses. I don't know. Maureen's here. Hello, Maureen. She says, I've been weirded out by so few views on this beautiful channel. Well, thank you very much. Don't be weirded out. It's going up. It's all good. Should be more, I agree, but Okay, any more questions? I'm just looking through. I know it's kind of boring. I've watched live streams here and there where the person doing the live stream is looking at something all times. Is what's going on next. Babs is here. Hello, Babs. Wee Boy is here from Utah. Sophie's here. She's a nail technician. I never clip nails, only file. Accuracy, when you use clippers, it can shatter parts of the nail. Yes, actually, I've seen nippers cause all kinds of fractures in the tubules of horses' feet. Bedfoot Mama's here. Hello. There goes Luke. I like how Lena's tied. She ain't tied. She's just got a halter on her neck, and that thing's just laying there. And I only do. Huh. Weird. I never heard a crow make that noise before. Anyhow, I'm only doing this to keep her in frame so I don't have to go wandering off with her. Because sometimes I just not tie them at all. I just go wander with them. How often do you sharpen your knives? Every couple horses, maybe every horse, depending on if I've hit a rock or something like that. A dull horse is a dull a dull knife is a dangerous knife. So as often as I can. Pamela says, love your shirts and your videos. Thanks. Me too. When you're trimming horses' hoofs, do any of the other horses try to interfere? Says Angie. Hello, Angie. No, actually, they never do. They know better because they'll get a punch in the eyeball. Gail says, my back hurts just watching. Hope you're not in pain. Nope, I feel good. Would it help if on Lena to use a short stool to gently hold her leg without needing too much? No, I actually hate those things. Some people like them, but they're called a hoof jack is the brand. I had one and I sold it. I just got rid of it. It drove me bonkers. So she mostly holds her feet up, but being with horses is a little bit of an athletic endeavor. So just keep in shape a little, you'd be fine. And I'm doing 3, like at the moment. I might do 4. We'll see if I've got time for it. That's it for questions. So I'm gonna put this down and get on with Lena. If you just do one horse, I did Luke in 20 minutes, right? Come here, silly. I need you on the mat. It helps me out. 1, 2, 3. Thank you much. Okay, front left. And, sometimes I'll just kind of be down on a knee like this, and this is really easy to do. Ugh. I guess I can tell you guys, I was going to do, this is just a live stream. There's not very many people here compared to the amount of people on the channel, but I'll say I actually have some shirts ordered up, and I have an idea to do a giveaway. Speaking of somebody liking the shirts, it's fantastic. It's nice to hear that the shirts are liked. But yeah, I thought maybe it'd be kind of fun to figure out a giveaway to do. So Something interesting you might not think too much about. We always talk about a Mustang roll on the outer wall, but the bars also can use a roll as well, and it's just kind of, it's on the inside edge instead of the outside, which is the outside of the wall, and it's like an inner Mustang roll. Lena's so patient with me. I had to do quite a bit there to clean that bit up. I know some people who actually have knives just for bars and then knives just for frogs. Okay, what do we got? Let's get that bit off of the back. Balance out the frog a little bit. Not a lot. Hard frog, nice and hard. Okay, a little bit of the heels and she'll be done. Thanks, Lena, for really tolerating that. Ready? Me too. Okay, let's see. Thank you. I don't know if anybody's noticed or thought about it, but you'll see that I never trim from the top. All my trimming's from the bottom, because the sole of the foot, the bottom of the foot, everything but the frog, is what tells me where I could trim to and where I even should trim to. And you can't tell that from the outside. You can't shape a hoof from the outside without weakening it, for sure. That is just pure science. It's not even an opinion. You don't go to an esthetician and have them thin your nails down. You know, thick, strong nails. There, a thing of beauty. Okay, one more foot and Lena's free. Lena, I gotta trim you a little more often. You're tiring me out today. Thank you. One more. Thanks. You know, your back feet being back there is going to be undesirable. You should bring this foot forward. There you go. And thank you kindly. Such a good horse. Lena's 1 in a billion. I just can't believe that somebody didn't want her. How could you not want this horse? Somebody asked me actually just about a week ago, maybe less, in the comments. Is she for sale? Nope. I put my hoof pick on the ground again. Somebody give me a slap. Alright. I said, nah, she's not for sale. Lena's gonna be with me till one of us goes. Well, geez, sorry. That slipped out of my hand. Okay, a little bit there, a little bit there. A little bit over here. On the bars. And, so, yeah, I think couldn't sell. That's not in the cards. Did you just drop your rope? Okay, that's the bottom totally cleaned off. We do the walls, we're done. Get ready to take a time. Oh, the boys are just, you guys can't see them, they're just off to the side, just lightly playing. A goose. Okay, Lena, last bit, please. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna switch techniques for a second. The thing about a bevel, as I think about the nippers conversation, the thing about filing and beveling is it's no different than the furniture you own. All the wood furniture you own is going to have a bevel on it so that it doesn't chip and crack. So hooves are the same. Lena, you are complete. I am all done with you. In a good way. Thank you kindly. You did really well today. Thanks a lot. Do you feel like staying or leaving? Huh? Yes. Good girl. Very fluffy. So my rake here. We'll go with that. So I'll scratch another thing to think about when trimming horses. You know, sometimes the trims can be uncomfortable. They got to hold their legs up. They might feel sore, something like that. You really can't go wrong with continuing that grooming process by, you know, scratching wherever they need it, or a little massage or rub or something like that. And they're just like, you know what? I really like getting trimmed, because at the end, actually have a great story for you guys. Great story. When I lived in Japan, I get my hair cut at this place that it's just up the road from where I lived, so it's convenient to walk there. And before I got my hair cut, there was a dedicated person that came over and sort of rubbed your neck a little bit, and well, there's somebody who washed your hair, and then you'd sit down. Before your actual hairdresser showed up, there was a dedicated person that came over and kind of rubbed your neck and asked you how your day was going and stuff like that. And man, it would practically put me to sleep, you know. And then the experience of going there, it was more expensive than just a regular barber, I guess. But man, I never went anywhere else. Of course, it didn't hurt that it was all young women working there, and they were just cutie pies and nice, and you know, I was in my 20s. Look at these two, eh? I don't know if you guys can see them. They're gonna get this on the screen here. Hang on a second. Can't barely see the screen. There. That's what they've been doing for 20 minutes. I'm not kidding. 20 minutes. Just stand. Oh, no, they got all excited. 20 minutes of that business. Okay, let's see if there's any questions. I might actually have to quit here. Let's see. I gotta... Okay, back up to Pamela. Let's see. Angie asked about if they interrupt. Nope. Pamela says, wish I knew you when I got my horse from Ohio. Chris lives in Ohio. Oh yeah, the stool thing. Warm here? It is when you're working, but I think the temperature right now is about -1, maybe 0. It's chilly. But, yeah. Alicia's here. She says, I think your horses are pretty cute. Thanks, me too. Join the club. I think everybody here thinks they're cute. And now they're quiet. Kneading was supposed to be bending. Kathy. Oh, without bending too much. Yeah. Sometimes if my back is hurting for whatever reason and I need to trim horses, I'll be on my knees. Like, you can trim a horse on your knees. You can ask them to hold their foot nicely, really low. And in fact, a lot of horses will prefer to have their leg lower. So it doesn't happen too often. Caro is here. Hello from France. Oh, is a member, a new member. Thanks for becoming a member. First time catching the stream. Want to say thank you for amazing videos and entertaining streams. Well, thanks for saying thanks. Gma says, have you thought about selling jackets? Well, we sell hoodies. Jackets, yeah, I made a few jackets that are embroidered, really nice. Yeah, thought about it. It's hard figuring out merch, and merch doesn't make any money. For whatever it's worth, to everybody who's watching, if you've ever thought about getting, a Wildie at Heart or something like that, it doesn't make very much money. It's very, very razor thin margins on purpose. I can actually set the price, but custom shirts are expensive enough as it is, in my opinion. I think they're like 18 bucks or 17 bucks or something. So, this is a t-shirt, right? I just don't have it in me to put it up. Alton says, I watched a lady trimming who used a special seat or toolbox on wheels to sit on and save her back. Pretty common. Yeah, they're out there quite a bit. A lot of farriers will have a box with all their nails and all their shoes and their tools, and the top they can actually sit on. Yeah, I would never. Yeah, it's hard. I couldn't do this for an actual living every day going out. I'd be broken. I've done it. In the beginning, a while ago, I would try to trim a lot of people's horses and not advertise, but sort of sell the service to people around. And I trimmed a lot of horses, but I quickly figured out this is not the work I want to do. Alicia says my horses are funny. Cool. Lena's feet must be really heavy. Horses' feet are heavy. Horses' feet and legs are quite heavy. Like, if you've ever seen me when I did my dissections or cadaver videos, those legs, if you get a decent leg, there's a lot of weight to them. It's real. 125 pounds of hay. That's nuts. It's a lot. 1 hour and 22 mark. Thanks, Sue, for keeping track of that. I'll have to look back and keep notes. Okay, I'm going to sit back down. I don't have anything too interesting to say, other than I wanted to let people know about the clothes. Mix is here, says, do you ever brush them? Yes. I get that question a lot. Would your keeper horses be Luke, Ronnie, Lena, and Gracie? Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, even if I say I'm going to sell them, here comes Luke. Hey, buddy. Do you want to... No? He's smelling all the leftovers. Oh. Yeah, they're staying. Don't play with my stuff, man. You'll be in trouble. Do you want to have a scritchy scratch? What's he even thinking, eh? It's like, what's with that guy? Okay. Gail says, it makes me wonder if the wildies ever get their hooves damaged out in the wild. Yes, they do. Are you going to do a live every day? No, I won't. Lippish Rose says, greetings from Germany. Well, greetings from Canada. Princess Pasta says the horses are cute. And Alex Bear is here. Hello. Welcome to live chitty chat. I think I'm going to be done trimming for now. I only have a short bit before I have to go to my next task. I actually have to go to my next task. It's a time-based thing. So why don't we all just stare at Luke for a little bit? I'm just kidding. We can look at them all. The other two are over in the other corner. Let's see. And we've got to chuck some more horses out here, don't we? What do you think? Should we grab Mr. Wild before we finish this off here? Probably could. Look at how adorable this guy is. He's just waiting. I don't know if he's looking for some kind of invite, but I'm pretty sure he's going to put his nose up to the phone. What are you doing, man? Luke's always been such a good horse. I've owned him since he was, what, 2 or 3, right? And I think he's almost 10 now. I did some math the other day when I was talking about it. I was like, wait a second, isn't he 10? Nuts. Time flies too quick. He'll be almost 70 when he dies, I guess. He'll be an old man. Probably thoroughly wrecked from trimming horses. So that's kind of trimming horses. I don't know if anybody has any more questions. Alex says, how's your misfit doing? Which one? Marilyn has to go. Bye, Marilyn. Yeah, I don't know which misfit you're referring to. If you're talking about this one right here, he's doing great. I think Lena might be the only non-misfit, you know? She's such a cool horse. Okay, these 3 are thoroughly done trimming. 4 more to go. Just not right now. Oh, we got another question. Maureen. Hello, Maureen. Sorry if this question has been asked. Your thought on fur trimming? Don't want to judge, but I have thoughts about the necessity. Oh, Gracie's my misfit. She's doing great. She was actually, she's on the roster to be trimmed today too, so. We gotta sleep. How do you not get sleepy looking at a sleepy horse? He's gonna doze off right in front of you guys. Fur trimming. I have no interest in trimming their fur whatsoever. I think I think that people that do it because the culture demands it. Whatever. Here comes Ronnie. Watch out, Luke. What's he gonna do? Come here, Rons. You can come forward. Anybody want a hand? Nope. We just need Lena up here. And this is actually kind of what happens when I come sit here with a coffee or something like that. I'll just be sitting here, and pretty soon I'll have this group of horses doing what Luke's doing, just chilling out, having a little dozy nap. It's pretty cool. It's nice having a herd. And that's that. Okay, I'm going to try to keep an eye on questions. Luke is hypnotizing. Yeah. Cynthia's got something to say about a Twitch. I don't know what conversation led up to that, but it's too bad. Because I have good draw. Yeah. Sometimes. It's just such a nice day. Such a beautiful day. Okay, so that's 3 horses done. We shall see. about the next ones. Might wait till tomorrow. I could do another live stream tomorrow, maybe. Trimming again. Talk about trimming and questions about hooves. To sort of summarize, though, I think some of my points were just that it's important to do it often. Some good questions around that, where some horses are different. They have different timelines of needed trimming. But my recommendation, my personal recommendation through experience and the actual science of it, is try not to go beyond 3 weeks. When you do, you are likely going to be playing catch up and fixing things rather than just maintaining things. So a maintenance trim is far easier to do. And anybody, I believe anybody, can do maintenance trims once a week. It's really, if you can keep the walls in shape, the rest generally follows suit. Not always, but generally can follow suit. And that's just a little bit of filing, a little bit of practice. Anybody can do it. And your horse's hooves will be so much better for it. And you can get your horses used to a little bit of groundwork, picking up their feet. Just a bevel. I've done a couple of videos. If anybody's wondering, just look up maintenance trim or something like that. Some good tips. And they're short, so they're simple. You know? Let's see. Princess Pasta says, Luke's my favorite. Is Ronnie and Lena still a couple? Sort of. These three have been together from the beginning, since this place was created. Luke and Ronnie came at the same time, and Lena came about a month after. So these two have had the most time together as friends. They're just a good trio. And then Gracie came along. So there's that. Trying to see if there's any more. Lady Josephette is here. Hello. I've noticed that Lena hangs back in groups sometimes. Is that her personality? Yeah, it is. She's quite quiet. She doesn't I mean, certain days she's got a lot of energy and she's pushing everybody around, but for a lot of times she just really enjoys relaxing and sort of hanging back and being quiet. It's quite nice. If she's in heat, she's a little more active. And then some days she's just like a little filly, just running around like crazy. Did Ronnie know Willow? No, he did not. Only Luke did. Gracie is the monkey wrench. Yes. Gracie is 100% a monkey wrench. Luke's going to have a lie down. I'm sure of it. I'm going to switch sides. Yeah. No, Ronnie didn't know Willow. Willow died long before I even bought this place. If I had this place, she'd still be here. Maybe. I say that with caution, but yeah, well, let's get out of that topic. So, there you go. Now we just have statues. So trimming's done. I feel good about it all. It's a little bit messy, but whatever. What else can I say about it? What else can I conclude on it? I encourage everybody to learn it. Anybody can do it. I actually had an idea to have Haley demonstrate that she can trim. She watches me trim a lot, so she's like, oh, you should trim here and trim there and blah blah blah. And I was like, well, thanks for the tips. So I said, you should put your money where your mouth is, little child. She's like, sure. So I said, okay. But it could be a good example for others that feel overwhelmed or worried about trimming, and you can do it. Kim is here, says, been watching on iPad, can't figure out how to use it. Well, use what? Your iPad? I wish this was iPad support, but it says horse support. So, good luck. Maureen says, what has been the worst gone wrong while trimming? And I'll answer the next question real fast. Pamela, Peggy went to a place closer to her owner. So, that's an easy one. The worst thing that's gone wrong while trimming. Nothing to do with a trim. Yeah. I guess I have maybe 2 stories I could tell. There's one story where I was... Gosh, it's awfully quiet here now. There's one... Oh, somebody starts up a diesel truck. There's this one lady I went to, and she was, I don't know, a little bit distracted overall. And I was trimming her horse. It's funny now, but it certainly wasn't at the time. Luke's going down. He's almost down. 5, 4, 3. Oh, he's moving. Says that position's the wrong position. Almost. This is it. Bam. It's down for the count. Now you know why I go and hang out with my horses when they're lying down so often. Anyhow, the horse I was trimming was a bit of an older horse, and he had really bad feet. She wasn't caring for them very well at all. So I had to do some very careful work, slow work even, detailed work. And so I'm really concentrating on it because I want to get it right. I want to help this poor thing out. And above us was a tree, just like a cedar tree, I think. Kind of, yeah, not an older tree, but it had some older branches or something like that in it. And while I'm practically underneath her horse, you guys have seen how I watched, if you've been watching, that I make an effort to accommodate the horse as much as possible. Sometimes I'm in a position that is actually dangerous. And, but I have trust in the position that I'm in based on the environment that I'm in, things that I'm doing. And right above us, she seemed to have found some branch that was a little bit loose. And without saying anything to me, while I'm in the middle of trying to do some very detailed work, she yanks on this branch above the both of us. Not her, but above the both of us, to pull it out of the tree. Oh man. I don't think I've been that startled in a long time, or even since then. But the horse figured he was going to die. Tree's coming down. Something's happening. You know, Luke is out. Look at this guy. That was scary. So since that, it never occurred to me that she would do such a thing. It just did not occur to me that I would have somebody who would try to get a branch out of a tree above my head while I'm in the middle of trimming the horse underneath their horse because it's not doing well. I mean, even a healthy horse, you don't want to do that. So that was, I mean, there's a level of control that was required to be not mad, but I was stern, to say the least. Don't do that again. Something like that. All right. Sad Duck 1 is here. I'm new to the channel. Been here for a week. Cool. Welcome to the channel. The other story I could maybe tell, not nearly as, I mean, it's kind of tied into that lady that I was talking about earlier, how she was a horse communicator, but didn't communicate with her horses very well because the horse was a nightmare to trim. But some horses will be really resistant to having their hooves picked up. And not only will they, you know, you go to pick up the back feet, not only will they be so unhappy with whoever had been trimming them before and forcing them into all kinds of positions to make a trimming experience absolutely terrible. But this horse was solid bad. and it would kick its leg, and you'd go to reach, and it would cow kick, and then it would move its hip into you, and all kinds of stuff. And in regards to being around a sort of a dangerous horse, or a bad experience, that was definitely I quit on that. I did 1 foot, and I'm like, I'm out. I can't do this for you. You need to train your horse. And I'd already worked with her 3 or 4 times. She had 2 horses, one that was really lame, and then that youngster that was just a pain in the butt. But I was called in because of the really lame one, so we'd primarily been doing that one. She's like, you should trim my other horse. I was like, okay. So unfortunately, I had to leave that situation, but that was bad, and just more time. Alex says, my little one wants to know when you're bringing Gracie into the arena. Pretty soon, but I got to actually shut off the live stream pretty soon because I got to go do my next task. First time I've seen a horse just lying in the arena. Well, you should look back on the other 200 videos that I have of horses lying around in my arena and going up and watching them snore and stuff. There's at least 200 of them. Barry's here from Prince Edward Island. Caro says, horses lying down is very calming. It sure is. It's really nice. It's good. Okay, folks, I have to... Nope, he's out. Here, I'll tell you what. Let's go. Let's wander over. I don't know if the internet will work properly, but let's see. Sometimes the internet's a bit sketchy. And I'll show you. How about now? Does the audio work? My sound is fine. Oh. Go figure. It's back. Did anybody get the answer to those 2 questions that just popped in? Nope. All right. So the 2 questions that popped back in, and then I gotta go. Maureen says, what exactly is a horse communicator? Don't we all communicate with them? A horse communicator is somebody who will claim they can communicate psychically with your horse. In fact, sometimes they'll do it over the phone. I'll let you guys come to the rest of the conclusion yourself, but more or less, this lady had no ability to communicate with her horses in person. And that was that. Dan says, neither of our horses like to be scratched or pet. Is it possible we're doing something wrong, or is it possible that they just how they are? I can gently pet the gelding briefly before he leaves. Hard to say without being there, but I would say some horses are particularly particular. Rooley was a good example. If you ever look back on any Rooley videos I did, where I would talk about grooming, and yeah, some of them are very particular, and you really have to search and ask and listen. But I haven't known any to not like it when you get it right, if that helps. Okay, that's it for now. I really do got a boogie on, and as such, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully that's been kind of fun and all questions were answered. So have a good day, everybody, or afternoon or evening or whatever you're up to, and I'll see you again.